Good morning, y'all. This is I'm Brian, of course, and Jeremy,
Good morning, Jeremy Cox Parker.
and we are starting a podcast series that we're gonna have some conversations, and we're just gonna talk about the thing that we know the best, and what we know the best is ourselves and our business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So as of now, we have been in business for almost 5 years. So it'll be 5 years in June, and this whole journey's been interesting so far. Been successful. We've had some ups and downs.
Some challenges.
Very challenges, and what we've learned is running a business is a lot like raising a child. Would you say that?
A lot like raising a child, a lot like being married.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when you have a partner.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I'm married twice.
Married twice.
Feel like that way.
That's right.
Negotiations, compromise, opinions. But what we've done is I think we've done a good job of putting our own personal agendas aside for the better of our company, as I would say.
For the betterment of our company, the betterment of our employees,
Yeah.
the betterment of our clients, and the betterment of our projects
Yeah.
is probably the main goal, at least from my standpoint. What I try to do is I try to make sure that the project is successful no matter what, regardless of profit, regardless of schedule, regardless of all those things. It's is the project successful for everybody involved?
Yeah. I tell you, one of my biggest challenges and thing I've had to learn is checking my ego at the door. Because when I worked at other companies, especially the big corporate world, you're trying to beat your coworkers to the top.
Sure. Yeah. Climb the ladder, right?
And what I've learned here is, you got to check that at the door, because what you said a second ago about doing for the betterment of the job and better your employees and betterment of your business partners is sometimes you got to do things you're not comfortable with or something you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's right.
So
make a lot of phone calls you don't want to make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Deliver bad news to clients or to employees or to subcontractors. It's a difficult thing to manage. And I think I've learned over the last 4 years how to do that delicately so that everyone understands the situation accordingly.
Yeah. So what I was going to say also is it's happened the other day in a meeting. It's happened a lot in the last couple of weeks is when I would go to meetings with clients, when I worked at the big companies, I would want to be the expert in the room.
Sure.
And now I know where I start and stop, and where to bring you in to take the details
Right.
regarding actually building it, regarding the details of, and the thing that keeps coming up over and over again is when a site doesn't have utilities and we have to figure that piece out. Like, you've done a good job of digging into all the details, so when a client comes to us and they have the I don't know thing,
Sure.
they go, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
And the first thing I do is go share Jeremy's phone number.
Well, I mean, and I'm sure y'all have gathered this over the last 4.5 years as we've posted and been out in the world as Cox Parker. But Brian handles all of our pre-construction, business development, estimating. I handle all of our operations. Now we intertwine a ton, right? Our roles overlap, and we can do each other's job whenever we have to. But that's the primary function of our pieces.
Right.
So it's been enlightening, or at least eye-opening, to allow each other to operate within our space accordingly. Giving you that piece and stepping away from it was hard at first. Not going to lie to you. I was like, man, I how do we, and it's like you want to interject yourself, because just like you said a few minutes ago, when you're working at the big company, you want to show how much you know to a certain extent. You're kind of prairie dogging and trying to get in there, but allowing you to operate within your space and allowing me to operate within mine has been it was a challenge, and it's become increasingly easier over time. And it's a matter of trust, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
right.
Yeah, look, and it's a personality trait, right?
Is it for you?
For me, yeah, totally. Like,
okay.
it's a I know best kind of personality, and it's a bad personality trait. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not entirely proud of it, but it's something that that I'm aware of, right?
So personality trait, but hey, as a general contractor, that personality trait probably lends to some of your success on the operation side.
Yeah. So the doubt is, or not the doubt, but the ability to question.
Yeah.
People's ability to perform is sort of the role of a general contractor. We have to trust our subcontractors, but we also have to question their knowledge base and their timelines and all the specifics that relate to their jobs and their duties and functions. So and it's sort of it is our responsibility to bring that whole thing together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look, I think that's probably something we need to help some of our owners understand is we are the general contractor, not the trade specific expert.
That's right.
So we're quarterbacking the job, not building the job.
Yeah, we're not electricians. We're not
right.
We're not HVAC contractors. We're not plumbers.
That's right.
We're not drywall technicians. We're not framers.
No.
We know a lot about those things, but we don't know every single specific detail. And that is a difficult part for owners to understand. They sometimes they think that we know everything.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to admit that I don't know everything.
Not at all. Yeah, look, I tell people all the time, people go, what do you do for a living? And if I get down to it, I make phone calls and write emails for a living.
Sure.
It's not glorious, but it's necessary. And look, I think that's one of our strong suits is not hiding behind a text message or email, but making personal connections. We had that from a customer just the other day. She said she selected us because she didn't select us. We had to bring some news to her.
Yep.
Some unexpected news, and she says, "Hey, look, I'm accepting
cost increases, right?
Yeah. The hardest thing to talk about with an owner.
The most difficult piece of any project is a financial delivery. It's going to cost this, and then you get down a road, and it costs more. So that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. So I gave her a heads up. Hey, we need to meet because we've had some cost increase. And she says, how much? And I gave her a roundabout.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met with her, she was all good with it because she says, hey, you called me, let me know. And I was like, okay, that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it was how we address our issues, which may not be how other people do it.
Right.
So, and then the other thing that we talk about all the time is, as owners of companies, we are the ones who have to eat the proverbial shit sandwich.
Shit sandwich.
So look, sometimes, and I had this conversation with the owner the other day, that a lot of times our decisions about doing the right thing is not the most financially wise decision.
It's not lucrative sometimes, right?
No.
We have to spend some money in order to make things right sometimes.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to just doing what's right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So and I think we always know what's right at the back of our minds, regardless of of what may be financially right. But we know what's right.
Yeah.
So there's situations where we have to, again, spend some money to make somebody happy or whole. So
sometimes happy's not the key word.
That's right.
But whole is.
Yeah.
Make them whole. So so look, I mean, it's. I had somebody reach out to me the other day and let me know they were going into business for themselves. And they said, look, it's never a good time to do that. When you have a paycheck and when you have a family,
health insurance,
right? All that
retirement,
stuff.
it's all nice and packaged up neat for you.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, if I look back, the only regret I have about starting my company is I didn't do it sooner.
Absolutely,
because I was kind of letting fear dictate that.
Oh, comfort.
Yeah, I mean, lots.
Complacency, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's easy to go to an office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or 7:30 to 6, whatever it is, and every 2 weeks that money's deposited.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's reliable.
Yeah,
it's structured. Whereas when you own your own business, it's every day is. You don't have to question it every day, but you gotta stay hungry.
You gotta be aware.
You gotta be aware, and there's no room for complacency as a business owner, in my opinion. No room for complacency.
No.
And it'll hit you at any hour of the day, right? It'll come at 8 a.m. when you're getting your kids on the bus, or it'll come at 3 a.m. when you're trying to go back to sleep. So. Yeah.
So it started raining Thursday night, and I think I woke up at 3:30 and stared at the ceiling for about an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever that happens, look, I mean, there's no lie about construction. Rain and water intrusion is a deal on lots of projects. So, it's just wondering, hey, what's going to surface right now?
Right.
But,
right.
Look, it's just part of it, and we've worked at the places where we met.
Yeah.
Where they prioritize taking care of the customer.
Client satisfaction.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
And I think that I think we probably brought some of that with us.
yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, but I mean, look, we can probably go on this topic for another hour or so.
That's right.
But I think we've done a good job of maybe helping somebody or explaining what it's about, and giving a little background into to us and letting people get to know us a little bit better. So
We can
look,
call it the human side of construction.
yeah, look,
Yeah,
that's probably a good way to put it.
There's we sort of get in this mode of do, and it's like, hey, we got to back up. There's people behind all these things.
Yeah,
People are running the world as it relates to construction. There's a whole lot of tools and AI and document management software, but at the end of the day, there's a person doing every single thing that we have to accomplish.
that's right.
And you talk about personalities, but that's
Yeah.
a topic for a different day. So
Well, but it's also, so when you talk about the human side of construction, you kind of have to put yourself into a mindset of this person I'm dealing with, no matter how difficult they are
yep,
or how easy they are. That is somebody's son, somebody's father,
brother,
somebody's
mother,
brother.
all of it.
Exactly. And those people have their own personal network that then they're important to another group of people. And the decisions we make every day, you said a second ago when we started, was we affect our employees and our customers. But even when you talk about trade partners and like a guy who comes to work, it's our responsibility to possibly get him home the same
Safe.
way he showed.
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you start really thinking about everything that happens with the day to day, it can overwhelm you, and probably you probably have paralysis by analysis.
Right.
Is what could happen. So, but we're moving forward. We're fortunate to have lots of a busy bid calendar, and a bid calendar that's busy means opportunities in the next 2 and 3 months.
Yeah.
So
We're fortunate to have a busy bid calendar, ongoing projects,
Yeah.
good employees,
Yep.
and a partnership that we can trust.
Yeah.
Fortunate is probably an understatement.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what the right word is, but like fortunate times
Yeah.
2 or 3.
That's
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah, that's it. That's it's difficult to describe. So, but we're happy to be here, and we're happy to keep this thing going.
Yeah. So 4.5 years in, the lifetime to go. So this is it for us.